A journey to remembering who you are. Have you ever had the most vivid dream to the point where you feel like it's real? Then you forget everything you saw and heard as soon as you woke up? As someone who dreams daily, this happens to me often. This feeling can be super frustrating because I rely heavily on my dreams to bring forth messages and answers that help guide me through whatever I may be experiencing in my waking life. This whole concept of forgetting when you wake up not only applies to your dreams, but also your life. When you were born, doctors, society, most parents, religions, and so many other environmental factors did everything in their power to make you forget who you are and why you're here. Whether this is done consciously or unconsciously is another story for another day. I've alluded to this in other posts, but I will outline some major factors and their solutions at play that cause us to forget who we are. What you do on a daily basis. Education. From a very young age, we lose autonomy of the things that bring us creative inspiration and natural curiosity. A majority of us had to enter public schools because it seemed like the only option at the time, not really knowing the long-lasting damage the system has on us. This is no fault of anyone in particular. Parents had to work, and therefore putting your kids into a place that takes care of them, educates them, and feeds them for half of the workday sounds better than leaving them at home. The educational system in America, at least, was not designed to cultivate the natural abilities and individuality of children, but to teach them a standardized way of learning concepts that they will probably never have to use in any aspect of their lives. I can't remember the last time I had to use the quadratic formula or to recite the Declaration of Independence as an adult. There are many benefits to seeking out education, however, the benefits are more prevalent once we've become conscious and aware of our purpose here in this lifetime. This looks like taking a gap year between high school and college to travel the world and find what makes you spark. And maybe then you'll decide to return back to a higher education, but this time you'll be sure of your path rather than just going with the motions. This looks like incorporating more play in your day. Try to do something out of routine, or if you're someone who's never had a routine, try creating one and take note of any inspirations or creative ideas that lead to more creative acts. The idea is to create a conscious stream of creativity throughout our daily lives, like we did when we were children. At some point, you will notice a theme to your creativity. Do you like building things, creating systems? Maybe you can continue this play through becoming an architect or an engineer. Does nature fascinate you? Maybe your purpose has to do with being outside or incorporating it into what you do. There are so many insights to who we are when we are at play. Work. After attending college or graduating high school, it's time to make money because that's what everyone else is doing. Except this mentality is a one-way ticket to becoming completely unconscious. Without knowing who you are and what makes you feel alive, you can easily fall into this trap of sameness. Some people cope with it while others develop serious dis-ease because each and every day of their waking life, they are moving further and further away from their true self. No matter how much time has passed, the true self will always want to be remembered. This may be why things seem to always go wrong when we're going against the grain. The universe is trying to get you to wake up and realize this isn't the way. When you finally take the time to remember why you're here, and you begin to embrace it and create the life that aligns with that, everything falls into place. The money, the connections, the opportunities, the synchronicities, everything you need will become available to you. That's how this works. Become aware of what it is you truly desire and begin to change the environment around you to make it happen. This is you remembering that you have the ability to create your own reality and allow your soul to lead the way. Have you always had a secret desire to become a chef? Do it. Start now. Create a plan to get there. Once you've written it down, believe it's already done. Want to start your own photography business? Do it. Start now. Everything you need will present itself to you if you just believe and trust the process. Do you want to live in a remote village and teach people how to have their own homestead? Do it. Start now. It may sound ridiculous, but think of the people that will be touched by you living in your truth. This idea that I've outlined above is much deeper than words can truly express, but remember that the desire must come from the soul, the higher self, the one who is being remembered, not the ego's desire. If the desire comes from the ego, it does not apply to this process. How you grew up. Family, religion, culture. This is a major one. Most of us until the age of about 16 to 18 have no choice but to follow the religion and culture that we were born into. Yet another decision we didn't get to make coming into this lifetime. I grouped family, culture, and religion together for two reasons. 1. Culture alone is very hard to define. Ask your local anthropologist. And 2. Your family determines your culture, and this often determines your religion. As we get older and gather more of our own experiences, our soul guides us to what belief systems feel right. Some people gravitate towards spirituality, and others different religions. Moving away from what you were taught to believe growing up can have some major emotional and psychological effects, especially when it comes to family. They will question whether or not you're going crazy or if you've fallen under the influence of some cult or social media. While this can definitely happen, it's usually not the case. Usually your family is so indoctrinated that anything outside of what they were forced to believe is a sin to their God. I don't mean to sound harsh, but this is the truth. Maybe one day I'll find a way to write on this that doesn't seem too biased or is based on facts, but for now, let's call it how it is. For example, a few years ago, had I read my opening sentence out loud to my family, the first response I would get would be, "Don't look into your dreams, that's an abomination." How can something that naturally occurs and I have no control over be an abomination? And what's even crazier is the fact that my dreams have this intense accuracy that I can't even deny. Therefore, I refuse to believe it was an abomination. This connection of thought is also what led me deeper into the studies of spirituality and psychology. Because I have been living in my truth for a few years now, my family now knows that this is who I am, and they have learned to accept that without pushing their own beliefs. This is how we live in harmony, for the most part. It doesn't have to be a specific religion or belief, but just go towards what seems to be calling you, because chances are you're just remembering. I also encourage you to try this with different cultures as well. If you've always had a desire to go to Italy and observe art while drinking natural wine and eating the best pasta of your life, maybe there is something there that you want to remember. Go towards it. A note on family and relationships. One thing we must remember is why we chose the family and relationships we chose. Only then can we look back and recognize how each person and experience has played a vital role in helping us get back to who we are. This may not make sense now, but the next point should help clarify this a little bit more. Unconscious behavior. Unhealed trauma. You must make it a priority to release any unhealed trauma and stored emotions. They are blocking you from liberation. Even if you are someone who believes that they have never experienced any trauma in this lifetime, yet you still feel lost or encounter blockages, this includes you. Why? Because we are not only carrying the baggage of this lifetime, we are also carrying the baggage of previous lifetimes, our parents and our grandparents, epigenetics, and our emotional bodies. What we experience on a conscious level is directly related to our subconscious experiences, which has had many lives and absorbs through all senses at all times. Removing these blockages creates a clear path for your soul to reach the conscious level. There are several ways you can begin to remove blockages, ordered in a way that allows you to start immediately. Yoga and meditation, breath work, journaling, Reiki, hypnotherapy, past life regression, plant medicine. I've written more in depth on a few of these modalities in previous posts. You're probably at the point where a lot of this is starting to make sense to you, but chances are if you've made it this far, you've already been thinking about all of this. This is your higher self guiding you back to remembering who you are. It's time we wake up and remember. I wish you the best on your journey. Please share this post with someone who comes to mind, because we're meant to be on this journey together. Peace and love. Kai.